got together that 4th of July day. That's when the land you're standing on became the U.S. of A. United we will stand, but divided we fall. One nation under God says it all. Men are created equal, words written in by hand. They all stand to fight when a cry for freedom rings. Freedom isn't free, it comes with a cost. One nation under God says it all. One nation under God says it all. This whole world's changing, it's changing every day. For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stand up everybody, stand proud and tall. One nation under God says it all.
Good evening and welcome to ITW Radio. It is 8/17 of 2018. Tonight, I think we have a good show lined up for you. Tonight is my night on what's pissing me off. And boys, there are a lot pissing me off lately. Before I get started, I just got a few questions that I want to ask. I guess this will be my opening monologue. It's what do you believe in? You know, do you believe in a government that will take most of what you earn and give it to people with no ambition? A country that will let anyone in, just anybody come in? A government that will sell 25% of its uranium to Russia? An FBI that is one-sided? Congress people that promote groups of people to go out and harass individuals? You know, this is all crazy. You know, people from other countries that can vote in our elections. A government that will force you to buy health care when you don't want that type of coverage and you already had perfectly good coverage. A government that believes they know what's best for you. A country where you don't have the right to protect yourself. A country where people have been taught that it's okay to disrespect a flag and people, for the people that have fought and died for it. You know, that's all stuff that's going on right now. I mean, it's stuff that makes me want to sling this piece of paper across the frickin' room. Yeah, it's enough to piss anybody off. But, anyhow, where do I want to start tonight? You know where we're going to start? The right to protect yourself and the Second Amendment and the people the right to bear arms. Let's put the one up of the bicyclist.
We don't have a picture for that, remember?
Oh, we don't have a picture of it.
No, we don't have that picture, remember?
Okay, let me see if I can find it
The
here.
only photo we could find for that is actually showing the victims in the situation, and I refuse to show the victims in the situation.
Yeah, I don't want to show them.
So there you go, right there. That's it, right there.
This one's kind of messed up. I mean, it's sick, and it's kind of funny in the same aspect. A guy's riding. A lady goes to take out her trash this past week, and a guy's following her on a bicycle. And normally it wouldn't be a big deal, you know, it's some kind of sicko. But this guy was masturbating on his bike. Now, how the hell do you masturbate while you're riding a bicycle?
I know, he's got some kind of talent I got to learn, so.
I've seen people riding them backwards, but never masturbating.
So.
Anyways, that's a thought I don't want stuck in my freaking head. Anyways, the guy goes up to the door. She goes inside the house. She's got her grandkids in there. She goes inside the house, and this idiot starts trying to get in her door. So she tells him to leave. If you don't leave, I'm going to shoot. So what happens? He don't leave. So instead of him shooting, for lack of a better term, she shoots through the door and catches him right in the chest, kind of in the shoulder, in that quadrant there. So the guy takes off.
Yeah, he takes his bicycle and...
He jumps on his bicycle, rides to the end of the block.
collapses.
Then he freaking falls over. So the cops come and arrest him. They didn't charge the lady, thank God. But can you imagine if somebody's got I won't say that's talent.
I know. I don't think
guess
he's
it
going to
would
be
be
doing that for a
considered
while, though. He got shot in the chest, so I don't think he's going to do it for quite a while.
I guess it would be considered talent, though. I mean, how in the hell do you masturbate riding on a bike? If anybody knows the secret to that, write in and let me know.
So.
Actually, never mind. I don't think I want to know that.
That's
It's
kind
not
of a
something
sick
I'm going to go
thought. I
try.
don't know if I'd want to do that.
Hell, it's hard enough for me to ride a bike in Florida in all the sand and keep the thing upright, let alone sitting there fondling myself. I just don't see how that happens. Anyways, if she didn't have the Second Amendment and a right to protect herself, can you imagine what would have happened to her and her grandkids? This guy, now the crazy thing is the guy was arrested the week before this for being naked in that same neighborhood. From what I understand, the guy doesn't even live in that neighborhood.
No, but I guess he was riding around for quite a while, and neighbors were like, hey, I would do it too.
He should have been shot before she ever approached the door.
You know, if he's going to jail, he might get shot with what he was looking for, so.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling he's going to get a little more in jail than he masturbating on a bicycle.
Yeah.
All those guys might be scared of him. I can't imagine.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Yeah,
No.
but
Thank God, thank God for the grandmother. You know, she had the ability to, you know, protect her children, and you know, I'm grateful that it didn't turn out worse.
you can't mess with old people. You masturbating bicycle riders. Had a lady that just shot her son. She was in her 90s, and she shot her 70-year-old son because she didn't want to go in a nursing home.
Oh yeah.
You guys watch those elderly people.
Yeah.
Before I go into that, I want to say something. Aretha Franklin passed away yesterday, and the crazy thing on that, the king of rock and roll died on the same day that the queen of rock and roll died, or the queen of soul, I should say. But Aretha Franklin, she did a lot for human rights, stuff like that. She even partied with Martin Luther King and Jr. and all of them.
Rest her soul. I'll tell you what, I loved her music.
Yeah, she died of cancer.
Respect and yeah.
She was surrounded by her family and stuff though, but that was pretty sad. And by the way, my friend Lee.
Oh yeah.
Doing the cha-cha-cha.
We got the Look Alive Lee. We got the lucky lottery starting tonight. Is the first number in her phone number. What would that be, Travis? 9.
That would 9. Yeah. Every week until she comes in here, I'm going to give out the first phone number, or the first letter, or first number of her phone number.
Yep. So
So
the
this
lottery
week-
number tonight is 9.
So your lucky number for tonight is 9, Lee.
You might want to think about it. You know Travis will do it.
Yeah.
He was going to give the whole thing out tonight. I told him, I said, no, I wouldn't do that.
I sent her a text today, and I said, you need to send me some messed up pictures, because I ran into where she works at, and snapped this one. She was like doing the cha-cha-cha, and I called her. But anyways, okay, we got the first number is 9. Lucky 9, Lee. Hand to God. I swear, Lee, if you don't show up in the studio.
Oh, she's going to show up. You give that phone number out, but I'm going to head out the other door. So when she gets a hold of you, I'm going.
She's probably going to bring her freaking chainsaw.
Yeah, that's why I
over.
said I'm going the other way. We love you, Lee. Okay,
Yeah.
So what's next in the news tonight?
I do love Lee. She's one of my best friends.
I know, right?
But I'm still going to put her phone number up. I got to do it because I promised her.
So.
You know, for you people, I'm going to jump back on gun rights and stuff here. You got this hog kid that's out walking around and doing everything that he's doing and trying to protest guns and the NRA and that kind of stuff freaking pisses me off. Little man, get a clue. He's back in the news this week again. There is a reason why we have guns in this country. Guns are what made us a free country. They're there to protect us, so we have protection. The cops can't always be there. You know, they get the call, they come out to protect and serve. They don't come out, they're not there to stop the crime. But this one's to all those kids that walked out of schools and protested guns. And when you look at the page, those are the shoes of Jewish people that gave up their firearms to Hitler. And we'll get into that another night. But these people that gave up their guns, they were all let into gas chambers, murdered, and buried in mass graves. You can go pick up any history book, and you realize what happens when you give up that freedom and why we should have the right to protect ourselves. Ask the Indians.
I've got a story with that, Travis. When I was in school, if you don't mind, years ago, I had a third grade teacher, and we had some horrible boys in our class, and it still brings tears to my eyes. And they would make fun of her and put swastikas on the sign and everything because she was Jewish. And I'll never forget it. Her name was Miss Etheridge. I know she's passed on by now. But she took our whole class in, and she was in absolute tears. And she said, you know what, to you it's fun and games, but to me, those were my relatives. She said, my family died. I don't have a family anymore because my family was slaughtered, and I'm the only one that survived because my family died getting me out. I will never forget that. Our whole class got detention, but for the rest of my life, I have never forgotten that. So.
Well, yeah. You know, everybody screws up. Years ago, and I probably shouldn't say this, I'm going to take a brutal beating for being this honest. But years ago, I guess I was 14 or 15, and this guy was cracking a joke about Indians. And you know, you guys listen to me all the time. You know, my dad was full-blooded Blackfoot Indian, and this guy I was working at his house, kept ragging on the American Indians. So, knowing he was Jewish, you know, he always had that little cap on top of his head. I said, well, you know the difference between a pizza and a Jew? And he goes, no, what's that? And I said, well, pizza doesn't scream when you toss it in an oven. And to me, it's not funny now. But then I didn't realize, and the guy got really pissed off. He kicked me off his property. I went back there to apologize to him later on. I was just there raking some leaves, mowing the grass with my little lawnmower and stuff. And I went back there to tell him I was sorry. And when I went back there, he said, I want you to see something. So he took me in his house, and then he showed me his mom's arm. And on her arm, she still had the tattoo of when she was in Dachau. And some of her family members were actually ones that had their skin peeled from their backs and made into lampshades. Some of them were thrown in ovens and baked to death. Some of them were murdered. Most of them were starved to death. I mean, friends, families. She sat there and watched thousands and thousands of people. And she happened to be a little girl at the time and was one of the lucky ones that was, I think she said she was 10 or 12 years old. But she was telling me how she was raped and everything else by the Nazis.
Well, am I glad I'm an American?
And, you know, that's one of those things I regret ever saying.
Yeah.
And I'd never repeat that again.
But Travis, on that aspect, you know, we shouldn't give up she always said, you don't never give up your guns. And we actually spoke with a Christian Muslim girl, and she's a good friend of mine, and she was telling us about they didn't have guns to protect themselves. They had to use rocks. She said it's a big thing, and you guys say, you know, Palestinians throwing rocks at people, but that's all they have to defend themselves.
Yeah, and the government comes in there. I was there when that conversation was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be on the air one night. We're going to have to block her face out because she's afraid of retaliation and stuff. But it's sad that people that are so far, I don't know, on the left, the right, it doesn't matter, that you think it's okay to give up the way to protect yourself. Only crazy people, let me repeat that, only crazy psycho nut jobs go in and do that kind of crap. This week, we had a judge out in New Mexico. It was 5 terrorists. You know what? They have the picture of them with their burqas and stuff on. Why in the hell is it that if I go to jail, they put me in a freaking jumpsuit? Or women go to jail, if you're American, they put you in a jumpsuit. But if a freaking Muslim terrorist or an Islamic terrorist goes to jail, they still let them wear their burqas.
Yeah, why are we bowing down to them? They broke the law. We shouldn't cater them. They did something wrong. And these people were training children to kill children.
And you know what? I haven't even really seen much more of this on the news. You guys look up at the picture there. They had one of the guys that was over here on a visa lottery thing. And he came over, and of course, there's no way to vet people really coming into this country. How in the hell are they going to tell from a third world country that these people are legitimate or they don't have a criminal past? Oh, yeah, well, you say you don't have anything going on. Okay, this guy was supposed to come over, and then he waited, I think it was 4 months. He goes over, he hooks up with the Taliban or these Islamic radicals. Now, I'm not ragging Islamics.
No,
Okay,
there are good Islams. There's
There's-
Christian Muslims and everything.
there's good Muslims,
And
there's
we'll
bad
learn-
Muslims,
we'll
just
learn
like
that when
there's
this young lady comes in.
good white people, bad white people, good black people, bad black people, good Chinese, bad Chinese. But if this had been an NRA member, you would have 24/7 live coverage on it, CNN, Fox, NBC, CBS, all of them. And it wouldn't be a judge sitting there saying, well, you can go with no bond. Basically no bond. It's a signature bond. And what a signature bond is, if they don't show up, they have to pay $20,000. Well, this a-hole, when he had the chance to come to the United States, he doesn't come over here right away. He goes back, gets with his buddies, going to figure out how he can destroy America from within. Then he comes to the country 4 months later, and he's living here. Then there's 5 of them out there, and they got this little compound going on with tires. If you guys have seen the pictures, they kill a little kid and bury him in the freaking ground.
But did you hear how they killed that poor child?
But since this is, I'll get into that in a second. But since he was only an Islamic terrorist who ran a terrorist training camp in New Mexico, teaching little kids to shoot up our kids in our schools, the media hadn't said jack squat about it because they don't want to offend anybody. You know what? I'm an equal opportunity offender. I don't give a damn. He killed a little kid. They starved him to death. They said he had demons. They beat him out of him, tried to starve him out of him. How old was the kid? 3?
He was 3, and he had epilepsy, and they refused to give him his epilepsy medication.
Yeah, that's sick. But hopefully, they said now he's going to get deported, where he had murdered somebody overseas. I think it was in Iraq. One of them. Anyways, pretty much going to get the death penalty when he gets there. We should not wait to send his ass back. He is on American soil. These are the kind of people that are going to be allowed to vote in our elections, that are allowed to go there. And his son was kidnapped from Georgia. He brings him out to New Mexico, tortures him, buries him. For what? And then they're going to sit there and try to train little kids how to go in and shoot up schools. Those 6 son of a bitches are to be locked away. They should have their skin stripped off their body, have salt poured back on it, sew them up, and let them live with that for a week or 2.
Yeah, and the prosecutor actually showed the judge the journals. I can't remember exactly what they were. The journals showing word for word what they had written about their attempt at committing these acts. And she still said, well, she didn't believe they were a threat. She just believed it was poor living conditions, basically.
Well, that judge has been known to let people walk that, and by the way, she's a Democrat. Not that it really matters, but she's a Democrat. She doesn't want to offend anybody, says there isn't enough
and that's
evidence.
the problem today. We got to quit worrying about offending people. This is our country. We need to stand up and be proud of being Americans, because it's by the grace of God we are in this country. We could have been over there and been a Jewish person. We could have been in Iraq, and we could have been, a victim of any of these terrorist attacks, but it's by the grace of God that we aren't.
How much more evidence do you need than they're shooting up schools and stuff? I don't get that.
Why do we have to wait till the act happens? We have evidence. Why do we have to wait?
They don't. They should, they should put me in charge of being a.
Oh, God,
well, the governor out there, she doesn't like it at all, and they're trying to get it repealed and stuff.
Well, wasn't he smiling when they told him that he could go free, signature bond, and didn't we have a picture of him actually smiling, him and her both?
I believe so. Chris, see if you can pull that up.
Everybody needs to see that picture. That's basically saying, you know what, Judge, you're such a dummy. Look at us. We just won. Americans are afraid of us. They're bowing down to us. They're so afraid. And you know what? That just aggravates me.
Yeah, he when he's in court, he's just smirking and smiling and everything else. Act like, I got away with this. I tell you what. And the residents there are scared to frickin' death. And as bad as I don't like endorsing violence, but somebody needs to shoot that 6 son of a bitch and never let him get out of the country. Because what happens when he gets over there and they let him go? That's just messed up. We're trying to find a picture of him.
Oh, I thought I just saw it a second ago. I'm sorry. I just want everybody to see the face on him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's.
But if you don't, you can just look on the news, and it's all over Facebook how happy he was. Like, oh, look at me, as soon as he got released. So.
Well, we'll just move on.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Speaking
move
of the shooter, Chris, bring up the one where the kids are all marching in line at Stoneman Douglas.
Yes.
And the news this week, it said a teacher had a gun there that she could have stopped the whole thing, or he could have stopped it. It could have stopped it. Not sure with so much transgender stuff how to call anybody anything anymore. But the teacher could have stopped it. And if you guys remember, this is where the one of the deputies hid the other deputies from the sheriff's department, stayed outside while kids are getting slaughtered when they could have ran in, and he had the local police down there. They came busting in the door and got it. But the sad truth is that there was a teacher there with a gun that could have stopped it. But from what I understand, that teacher did not want to get involved or take chances on getting charges for having a gun in a gun-free zone. You go ahead and take that one down. Then you got a bunch of freaking idiots out today talking about, because Rick Scott and there was 5 other states, I believe, or 7 other states that have put the motto back in the schools, "In God We Trust," saying a separation of church and state. And that's the one thing that's, first of all, the school's not the state. Shouldn't be. Oh, here's the Islamic asshole right here. Islamic terrorist.
I'm sorry, everybody, look at that face, that smile. Does he look like he's sad that his child died? Does he look like he's sad that, he just trained all these kids to kill somebody?
Look at the one in the
look at her.
bed sheet in the back. She's all smiling too. Hey, we got away with it. And
that makes me feel like they're saying, what a bunch of dumb Americans. It's exactly how that makes me feel. They're training to kill our children, and they're going to sit there and smile because they get off by a judge.
They're
not a threat.
I don't advocate for hitting women, never have believed in it, but I would bitch slap the hell out of her and him. I'd like to smack the hell out of him right now.
How can you even smile?
They're training kids to shoot up our schools. I wish they would put me in a cell with him. Go out there and...
He wouldn't last 2 minutes with
have
you.
to get arrested.
I don't think he'd last 30 seconds, not along 2 minutes.
Well, the judge is getting death threats and stuff now, and she wonders why. I mean, you're going to let these people back into these neighborhoods? And granted, it's out in the middle of nowhere, but, the residents say they heard shooting and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there was constant shooting they were hearing all the time.
Yeah, but, I mean, they're training little kids. What part of their training kids to shoot up other kids do this damn judge not understand?
She wasn't even worried about that. All she cared about, though, was the poor living conditions.
Oh, yeah.
That's all she put into the factor. She didn't care about anything else. She didn't want to really care to know anything about it. It's just poor living conditions.
How come there's a bra on my tablet? Oh, it's an advertising. Under the sheriff's investigation shows armed teachers could have stopped the Parkland shooting. There's
a bra.
I don't know if you guys can see it.
Okay, pull her down.
There's the news feed. It shows a bra. It says size 34. We'll put this in the news for them. Size 34C, 50G. Women are going crazy over the bras because unique cushion comfort band. I'm not going to hit it on it.
I'm good.
It's messed up. Right in the middle of my news feed.
Back to all seriousness, though, people are, back and forth, just like Putnam County, well, we need to know who's in our schools to protect our children. No, this is one time. Transparency is not what we want. We want these people to be protected. We want them to protect our children. I don't want to know who they are. I just want to know they're there and protecting our children.
Yeah, that's just messed up. Again, Second Amendment rights. If you live in New Mexico, I would get a gun. If you're in their neighborhood, I would get a gun. If they're training little kids to shoot up schools and stuff, you don't think they're going to shoot you? And this is the kind of crap why we need a freaking wall. Every other country has one, but when you just let people come in, and this guy was supposedly vetted. Now, I believe for letting legals or immigrants come into the country, but do it. We have a system where they can actually come in. Let them go through the process. Don't just let them flood to things. But I'll tell you what, if the Dems get in, Nancy Pelosi, Bernie Sanders, Dianne Feinstein, all of them are talking about just open the borders. Cuomo up in New York,
Oh, yeah, we got him up there. We've got him up there.
Oh, do we?
Yes, we've got him up there. That quote, everybody needs to see what he said. You know what? You go find another country if you don't like the one you live in.
Yeah, the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo.
We live in an amazing country. You look at any other country. Why do you think they're coming here? Because this is the greatest country there is.
Andrew Wacko just made a comment, we aren't going to make America great again. It was never that great. Where the hell has he been living? I wish they would ship his ass off to a foreign country, let him go over there and live for a while, and then see what he thinks about that.
You know, I'm not anti-immigration. I love immigrants. I just believe that just like when I let someone in my home, I just believe we need to learn who we are letting in. That's all it is. And why is it such a big deal with the border? Just finding a way to protect our citizens, protect our children. This was our children that were being affected.
Well, it's all pissing me off. In California now, if a waitress hands a straw, she goes to jail.
Oh, my God, I know, right?
But let an illegal come in and vote in our freaking elections, and it's okay. Let an illegal come in and sponge off of us.
I'm tired of this. Let's not make anybody cry.
Yeah. You know, the thing about socialism and stuff is, Bernie Sanders, he cracks me up, him and Cortez. The money runs out eventually. Other people's money is going to run out. It does not work. Look at the people in Venezuela right now. They are pissed off and rioting against the government. It just does not work. You guys that are for socialism, you better go and study what it is and see that it did not work in Russia. It did not work in Venezuela. It don't work in Cuba. It does not work. Other people's money runs out. Yeah. And when you get tired, when you work your ass off for your money, and then they're going to come in, and Bernie Sanders, according to him and Cortez, is going to take 75% of it. So 75% of your check that you work for is going to go supposedly to pay for Medicare, which is going to cost $80 trillion for everybody to have it. Do the math. 333 Americans, I said Americans, living in the U.S. right now, 333 million. Mm-hmm. How are you going to spend $80 trillion?
Well, shoot, they could afford to give the deficit we have. They could have afforded to give everybody $1 million, and we could have boosted the economy like you wouldn't believe.
Well, like what Trump and them did today.
Hey, Travis, you know, you were telling me the other day, I was kind of back and forth on socialism, and I wasn't understanding it completely. And you gave me a really good analogy when it came to school grades and how school grades could work with socialism, you know? And that made me really stop and think. Can you remember what you were telling me about that?
Yeah, the professor, I mentioned it on the show before, professor of Harvard, the kids were talking about how socialism, my nose is itching tonight. Professor at Harvard was talking about, some of the kids in the class were talking about how they wanted Obama to be a socialist, and when he was talking about the Socialist Party and stuff, and Bernie Sanders was talking about it, and he told all the kids in the class, look, I'm going to give you all straight A's, A pluses, and then what we're going to do in 6 weeks is we're going to take and amortize your grades out. So we're going to put everybody's grades into a pool, and then you're all going to get the same grades. Well, at the end of 4 weeks, they all had F's. Didn't even make it to the 6-week point. And when he asked the straight A students what happened, they said, well, they got tired of pulling the weight for the rest of them. And that would be your upper class. Then those kids that were making B's and C's and stuff, their grades went down. And he asked them, well, why weren't you guys doing it anymore? And they said, well, why? All we're doing is pulling the dumbasses basically along that don't want to work, and the lazy students. Then they asked the lazy students, well, what did you guys do different? Oh, we didn't do anything different. We just rode the coach. And it just shows that it doesn't work. Eventually, the people that bust their hump to get the money are going to get tired of working for it. Mm-hmm. The middle class is going to get tired of supporting the poorer class. And you think that when you open the doors to let people come into this country, and they're going to sponge off of us, medical, dental, food, Social Security, Medicaid, whatever they can get, because that's what socialism talks about, giving everybody an equal cut. Well, people are going to get tired of doing it. I won't be doing radio shows anymore. I'm not going to go out and sell advertisement and try to keep so I can donate to the Little League and stuff. There goes whatever we give to the Little League, to the Women's Battered Shelter, to the kids at Christmas time. I quit doing it. I will quit doing it because I'm not going to go out and work my hump off or my ass, for the lack of a better term, so that people can sponge off of me. I don't think anybody in the studio is going to do it. I don't know of anybody that wants to give up 75% of their check to go bust their hump to bring home 25%. That takes you back to the Nancy Pelosi crap, where she says, "Oh, well, if everybody works part-time, then that way they can have the other time to go fulfill their dreams."
It doesn't work that way.
How in the hell are you going to go fulfill your dreams on part-time jobs?
You
And the
can't-
worst thing
you can't
Obama
survive.
ever did, I mean, I'm not going to rag too much on Obama because I'm sure that he was trying to make things better. I just don't think he knew how.
Has she ever sat down and looked at a budget? A basic person, it costs between your electric, your groceries for a family of 4, electric, groceries, internet, phones, just your basic things. You're looking about $800 a month. You cannot survive on part-time, on minimum wage. And most of our younger generations on tips, and you can't survive on tips either.
No, and the one thing that didn't work with Obamacare is, and will not work under the Democratic proposal for health care, once you start bringing in Medicaid, okay, guys, doctors are only going to get paid about 20% of what they normally would make.
I've had doctors back away. They said, I can't accept your insurance because I'm not going to get paid, and there's too many people coming in the government, and that we can't do it. I'm sorry.
Right, they're not going to do it. And what's going to happen, guys, if you put Medicaid across the board, let me tell you how Bernie Sanders and Cortez and Pelosi and Feinstein and all them system is not going to work. When everybody gets Medicaid, okay, that means the doctor's only going to get government paid. You are not going to go to school up to 14 years of your life to get paid basically minimum wage. There's not going to be doctors doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of an example. I had a doctor bill the other day that, I had gone to the hospital and spent a day or two in there, and the bill was $15,000. My insurance is government-run insurance. I'm not afraid to say I have TRICARE. Well, I looked at what the hospital actually gets paid. That doctor only made $900 out of that.
Yeah, but you're also the wife of you're a widow of a
No, but I'm saying what they're
veteran.
getting paid, what the doctors are actually getting. And out of that $900, the doctor only actually received $40 from my insurance company. So they're not making the money. The doctors are not going to keep busting their hump and getting more people on them for nothing. I mean, goodness gracious.
No, and that's what.
And I don't blame them.
That's what's happened in Switzerland.
They're working longer hours and they're getting less money.
Everybody's talking about, oh, look how Canada has it.
Oh, why are they
Europe
running
has it.
here? Why are they coming to our country? Because they can't get the help.
Exactly. People are coming down from Canada because in Canada, and I have friends that live in Canada. By the way, Murray, how you doing? Murray Buck. Him and I played ball. And Jack, he's one of our regular readers, and I believe listeners too. They're up in Canada, but from what I understand from a few of my friends up in Canada is that they'll have to wait a year to get into a doctor.
Yeah, I had some friends, Norm and Shirley, I won't say their last names, but she got the flesh-eating virus, and he had cancer. They came from Canada to here because it was going to be over a year wait for both of them to get into a doctor. And they said, we'll come down here and pay the cash. Don't ever go with this healthcare system. He said, if this healthcare system comes like we have in Canada, your country will be ruined.
2 years ago, I had one of my friends that lives up in Canada, and they come down every 3 months. They come every year. They come down for about 3 to 4 months. Him and his wife had a sailboat, and they lived at a marina that I've got a boat at, or used to have a boat at, and they had to go back because he was feeling sick, and they had these dreams of taking their sailboat down to the Bahamas and going on a year tour down there and stuff. Well, he wasn't feeling good, so he went back. He tries to get an appointment with a doctor. They said, well, it'll be about 8 months before you can get in. 2 weeks later, he's sitting on his porch and died, brain cancer, all because he couldn't get in there. What do you need? Oh, an ink pen? Mm-hmm. Here, you take my good pen. Here,
Well,
take
I
the
had a
crappy
pen
one.
sitting there before we started, but somebody took it. I won't say names, Travis.
Somebody keeps taking my good pens. Oh, Chris, give me my nice blue one. You can keep that crappy one.
Oh, no, this is a Sans Mamani
I like
pen
this
that
one.
they gave me.
Anyways, let's move on here. You know what? I got to do some commercials.
Yes, sir.
Let's put up this stand first. I just stopped in there before I came in to the studio tonight, and Matt and Luann have the stand in Satsuma and East Palaca. They always have the best produce around. Go ahead and kick that thing off here for a second. I'm going to show them. I'm going to give them a little extra time tonight.
Oh, like I said,
Look
picture
at the
those.
size of this freaking tomato.
Yeah, like
I mean,
I said,
have-
those pictures are
I
not
have huge
photoshopped.
hands. We don't even have a tape measure in here, do we?
No, but we'll have to bring one.
Okay.
Oh, we got a can. There you
Here's
go.
the size of a can. I can't turn it and show anybody. I don't want to give them free advertisement.
Look at the size of that tomato. That's like a
size of
12-ounce can size. Oh
Freaking
my
tomatoes.
gosh.
You get like
And they're just so yummy. I mean, like, it's perfect, and it's the perfect size for a piece of bread because
This
you just
thing is
slice it, and you can,
huge.
you can just slice it, and it goes right on the slice of bread. It's so perfect, and
I
they're
know.
so good.
all you need.
By the
two
way, those
slices-
BLTs were really good, Travis.
2
Hint,
slices of bread,
hint.
some mayo, and tomato sandwich. For you people that are up north and you don't know what a tomato sandwich is, you have not lived until you've had a tomato sandwich.
I will admit that I've never had one before.
You can
know.
ask Cletus, by God.
Yep. Before about 2 months ago, Travis was like, "You got to try a tomato sandwich." Yep, they're good.
Pomegranates. This thing is huge as well. Where's that? Let me get my size thing here.
Your sizeometer.
Yeah, about half the size of a freaking can, soda can. And this avocado,
That's like a 12-ounce avocado.
try jamming that thing in a can. It's not going to
huge.
happen. That thing is freaking huge.
I don't even think I could fit that in my hand. I got small hands.
You know, where did they say this corn came from, Chris?
Ohio.
Ohio corn. You know what? I'm gonna peel
Yeah, I was
this
gonna say,
back.
peel that down so we can see it.
See
I
what
want
it
people to
looks
see
like.
what it looks like.
Usually, I'll tell you guys a good way to cook this
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
is something
I
that
love
Matt
the
and
way you
Luann
cook
taught
it.
me. Up there at the produce stand, leave it just like this.
I'll skip for you while you're talking.
No, he's gonna husk it.
Except for you cut this part off right here, snip, cut it off with a knife, leave it just like this. Put it in the microwave for about 6 minutes,
Oh my god, it's delicious.
and then cut the end off right here, at the end of it. Cut it off right where the little stalk goes in there. You cut off about a ½ inch of that. Then you take your hand like that and slide it down. It will strip this stuff right off instead of peeling it back this way. I wonder if this is the yellow end.
That means I'm having corn for supper. Yay!
Yeah, you can take this one home and eat it. Oh yeah, it's yellow and white corn. Some good stuff.
I'll bring back the empty containers for the cherries. Oh yeah, look how beautiful that corn is,
Yellow
y'all.
and white.
That is so good.
And this stuff is juicy. It's sweet.
Yeah, you made us some in the studio the other day, and when we were working over the weekend, and oh my god, it was so good.
Oh yeah, it was.
I think I stole Chris's though. Chris turned his back, and his corn disappeared.
Yeah, it did. We were in the studio, and I decided I'd bought some corn
It went from 3 to
the
9.
house, and I had it all coated in butter, and then a dish and everything, a little bit of salt on it. We're rolling around in the truck while I was driving. I'm bringing it into the studio. I look back and it's gone. Marie had already eaten 4 pieces of the corn.
It was
Okay,
yummy.
that's Matt and Luann's stand. Now you
Speaking
guys
of
go
Matt
down
and
there.
Luann, you've got to make sure.
William's
they say
working
hi.
tomorrow.
Yeah, make sure they say hi to Andrea. Got a picture of Andrea tonight.
To who?
So. Andrea.
Oh, Andrea. Yeah, where's the picture of Andrea?
They got a picture of Andrea there.
She's a sweetheart.
Make sure you tell her hi when you stop by the stand.
I know we're doing a little bit longer on the stand than our average 30 seconds, but you know, keep the business local, people.
Yeah.
Shop from these
Where did
little
it
mom and
go?
pop
No.
places.
We'll do it in the shout out.
They go out of their way.
It disappeared. I'll do it in the shout out. So
I don't know my
go ahead and
tablet.
move on. Yeah, but you're not
Okay.
gonna be able to do it because.
All right, which one we got next? Benny O's. Oh, there she is, right there.
Oh, there you go. That's it.
Say hello to Andrea.
Yes.
Was she holding broccoli?
Yes,
Yep.
broccoli.
That broccoli's huge. Oh, they also carry, if you look in the back, they also carry ropes for boats.
Yes.
Or if you want to
And they're
get one of
cheap.
those terrorist people out in New Mexico, those work good for around the ankles and dragging down the streets.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
I know I'm not going to give
You
me
did
any.
not say that.
Yeah, I did, unfortunately.
If I was closer to you,
But they
I'd
carry
totally
knives.
smack you in the back of the head right now.
They carry knives there, and their knives are cheap. I think they're reconditioned knives. They get them from a knife sharpening place, and they're like restaurant-style knives. You get steak knives.
They're good quality.
Yeah, or big knives. I bought quite a few of them from there
Mm-hmm.
over the years.
But
Matter of fact, I'm not going to go spend a bunch of money at a big department store to get knives when I can get those.
no, I'd rather buy them there. I trust the quality.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts. in Palaca, not
Palaca.
Satsuma. In Palaca. Go in there and see JR or Tracy or Brian or one of the store managers. They're open Monday through Saturday, 7:30 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. But they guarantee to price match anybody's thing. And these are great people over there. I called them the other day over at the high school at Crescent City, the cheerleaders, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there tonight, guys. I have a show to do, but I am going to try to get somebody to cover. Crescent City High School is playing somebody tonight up there, but the cheerleaders, I got to give them all a shout out. But I called up O'Reilly's and asked them if they could have a car wash to help get some of the stuff donated, or to pay for some of the stuff like their uniforms, their senior pictures. If you guys want to do that, contact Michelle Grimes at Crescent City High School. If you were a cheerleader in the past and you're older now and you want to live your glory days out, go to some of your high schools and find out, go to the cheerleaders, their coaches, and ask them where you can donate to help some of those kids out. And that's where, no matter what state you live in. But I tell you how cool they are. They're going to supply the cleaning supplies and all that stuff for the cheerleaders to do a car wash out there. They're going to let them make their own money, but they're going to donate the location, the water, the soap, sponges, all that stuff. So if you guys see them in the next second, it's in 2 weeks. Bird sales. I just went down and looked at another building yesterday. Mr. Bird was down there.
Yeah, we're outgrowing this studio. Y'all keep following us. We keep getting bigger.
Yeah. They've got, right now, they've got what was the size on it,
50.
Chris? No, it was 60 by 12.
I think it was a little bit bigger than 12.
Yeah, I think it was bigger.
60 by 17?
Yeah, 50 by 17. I'm not sure the exact dimensions, but I'm looking at getting another building. And the thing is huge, and I couldn't believe the price, how cheap it was. He's not trying to make a fortune off of these things. But Mr. Bird is a good, honest man. You guys know he's right there in San Mateo. If you're coming from Palaca or East Palaca, heading toward Crescent City, he'll be on your left-hand side. If you're going from Crescent City on up to Palaca, he's on your right-hand side. But go in and see them. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and they are closed on Sundays because Mr. Bird goes to church.
And they do setup sales and delivery. So their prices are amazing. Y'all check them out.
He delivers all over the place. I asked him about delivering to Tampa the other day.
Oh, did we check with Cars to see if they were still hiring?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I called over there, but
I'll do that this
Jason was...
They've been really busy, so.
Yeah, I've been playing phone tag with Jason this week. But Cars, Community Auto Repair Specialist, they're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., closed on Saturday and Sunday because they have a new baby. New babies will keep you up at night. If you've never had a child, you don't know what it's like. For you younger kids, you don't want to experience that until you get over 18. That's for sure. But they're 3520 Krill Avenue in Palaca. It looks like a barn. It's called the Auto Barn. There's a car lot there as well. But you'll see the sign over top. It's on 20, just past the Taco Bell if you're heading to Walmart. If you're coming from Walmart, it's on the left-hand side just before you get to Taco Bell, about halfway down the road. But they also have on Green Cove Springs, and then they have Advanced Auto Care over in Gainesville at 3820 West Archer Road. But I think I don't know if they're still hiring or not.
I don't know. It doesn't hurt to check. The worst they can say is no. But if you're good enough, I'm sure they'll make room for you. So.
Yeah, people say they want a job, but then they don't show up when we put jobs up.
I know.
We had a few people call us about jobs this week. I can't remember where they were.
Who do we have next?
Animal Health Care Center.
Yeah, Animal Health Center in East Palaca. So.
Yeah, Dr. Nagy and Dr. Smith. I say it every week. They saved my dog's life a couple times now. My dog has some issues. It's eating dishcloths, all kinds of stuff. $1,500 in cash. It was sitting on my seat.
But you still love her.
An Alabama hat. Alabama, and a limited edition, 1800 and something. And from 1880 something or 1890 something was a hat before they got
that was
color.
just a love bite, so you could remember she loved you more.
But shoot a whole brim off. I had to get her operated on to get it out of her butt.
But you still love it.
They do I do digital X-rays, spaying and neutering, dental cleaning. Don't forget your dogs need their teeth brushed just like humans. My dogs actually like it. They do boarding and small animal orthopedics as well.
And they do low-cost vaccinations, so keep those vaccines
Yep.
up to date, y'all. And that cute little white kitten with the blue eyes, do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah. Bat Mike.
Little rescue kitten.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7:30 to 5 p.m. On Tuesday and Thursday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
By appointment only on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, by appointment only. If you show up there and you don't have an appointment, they might still take you in, but you're going to sit there and wait because they are popular. On Saturdays from 8 a.m. to noon, and they are closed on Sundays. Dr. Nagy works some long hours. Dr.
Yeah,
Smith's pretty cool. I like him.
Yeah, Dr. Smith's awesome. So.
Dr. Nagy's a sweetheart. Her husband works over at the one in Crescent City,
Yes.
but they don't advertise with us, so no props for you. Let's put up Amanda at Placa Cinema.
That's the
Nope.
last of the block.
Huh?
That's okay.
That's all
That's okay. We'll go ahead and play Amanda real quick, and then we'll get on to the news.
Yeah, let's put up Amanda. Amanda's a little sweetheart. She's at Placa Cinema. Go ahead. Roll that footage. Hey, gang, I'm here with Amanda down at Placa Cinema. Amanda, what kind of deals you guys got going on?
Right now we have our 250 Tuesday. 250 Concession Tuesday is a deal we offer on concession items. And tickets will never be 250, but still come on down, help us support 250 Tuesday. And as always, I want to thank the people of Placa and Putnam County for #keep it local. We really do appreciate your support, and we wouldn't be here without it. And you know we always love the kids. Everything we do is for the kids. So bring them on down, help us out, and as always, #keep it local.
All right, thank you, Amanda.
Did I tell you I went in there the other day, and I'll tell you what, everybody's been going over to St. Augustine to their theaters. I'm coming right back to Putnam County, because I'll tell you what they did with that cinema is unbelievable. So, the seats were comfortable, it was clean in there, the food was good. So, and you can't beat that 250 Tuesday. So.
Yeah, we're going to move on to our next story. I don't know what in the heck is going on. Oh, I said heck. I didn't say hell.
Ooh, I'm
Let me
proud
back
of
up
you.
there. I don't know what in the hell is going on with the
All
party
right, back to
crasher here.
Travis.
We got the school boards lately, and people on the school boards have been losing their ever-living frickin' minds.
Yeah, but this guy was running for school board, and I like how he ran. I mean, he was out there
Look.
getting some votes, man. He was trying.
You got the other guys running for school board, too. We're going to get into that in a minute.
Yeah, this guy.
See if you can find his name for me.
Okay.
But this guy, party crasher, he looks like he's hopped up on something. Anyways, he goes to a house, to a party that he's not invited to, walks in, he's endorsing himself for candidate while he's in a party. Then he says no as the host. They wound up getting into it. He shoves her to the ground. Then he gets charges pressed on him. But he says, let me see if I can find the quote in here.
Yeah, you got to find the quote. It's totally
Yeah.
worth it.
Even if something was terrible, I don't even understand what this means. Even if something was terrible, I wouldn't take the job. I'm an honest man. I tell the truth. Navarra is his name. But he's supposed to face the judge on his arraignment in September. And his attorney refused to comment.
I can't blame him. Hey, I got to give the guy credit. You know what, we could pick on him, but at least he was getting out there. I mean, he got kicked out and went back, but he went out there.
Yeah, at least,
He was trying.
I'll tell you what, though. One of our school board things here. I'll give you a shout out, Nikki. Nikki Cummings got allegedly, I'll say allegedly, but she was on video ripping Walmart off over here, and she's on the school board. Now, just because they're on the school board should not reflect, just as with this guy, should not reflect the whole school board.
Correct.
And, Rick Cernsey, he's going to be in the studio on the 27th, I believe.
Yes, on the 27th.
Yeah, you guys stay tuned for that.
That's going to be an awesome interview.
I feel sorry for Rick. He is taking a
He's taking a
freaking beating
He's taking a beating.
by some of the couple of people on the school board and by people in the county. Now, you guys know that
Nobody likes the nice guy. Nobody likes the guy that's trying to do the right thing. Everybody wants to just...
for you people that know me, I call it like I see it. I am unbiased as the day is long. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, school board member or average Joe. If you screw up, I will give you, just as with Jeff Hardy, our other sheriff, he got a DUI. Okay, he was sitting in his truck. He wasn't driving. He was sitting in his truck on the side of the road. And he took a bashing from every freaking media in the state of Florida, except for me. Now, I'm not patting myself on the back and saying I'm all that, but this is how I remain unbiased. I weigh the good and the bad in people. But if you're going to put up a story, put the good up about people as well as the bad.
Right.
In the case with Jeff
Be
Hardy,
fair.
you know, he got 1 point on him. People didn't understand, which I do, is this man has seen, and I've been on scenes where there's been kids that have been raped, murdered, same with women that have been raped and murdered, cops, everything. This guy has seen everything, and how in the hell he wasn't doing heroin or meth is beyond me, because or how he isn't mentally deranged.
Nobody's perfect.
But just because he got busted one time for DUI, which he was not driving, by the way.
No.
But I watched a guy donate saddles to an organization that does riding for autistic kids, wounded warriors, vets, PTSD, stuff like that. He went out and purchased a saddle for these little small kids, a little tiny saddle. I'm going to have to bring it into the studio one day and show it. I watched the man take and give out of his own pocket when one of the funeral homes refused to release the little kid that was killed in a car wreck. The funeral home refused to release that kid until $4,000 was paid, which in my book is a bunch of crap. You know, let the parents make payments on it. But their thing was, well, how are we going to go collect? We can't go dig the body up, which is true. But they could have just written it off. I mean, it's a 4-year-old. But I watched Jeff Hardy take $4,000 out of his own pocket and pay it off. But Rick Cernsey, I've watched him since he's been in office. And I've seen the changes that he makes. And I understand it's when you're little darlings. I have a little darling that's graduating this year. I shouldn't call him a little darling. He's going to get pissed
really
off
gonna
at me.
get mad at you. He'd be like, Dad, really?
He don't listen to the show anyway. He's too busy playing Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
But Rick Cernsey's going to be in here, and the guy has done a great job, along with, what's the black lady's name that's on the school board?
Oh, my goodness. My mind's drawing a blank. Give me 2 seconds. I'll find it. I apologize. I know that, but my mind is drawing a blank. I was in the middle of finding something else for you.
I can't remember her name. Anyways, I think she does a great job on that. And also in Buckles on the school board.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
county
I've got the school
commissioner.
board members being pulled up in front of me.
Anyways, we have some good people on our school board. 1 or 2 of them need to be kicked out, and I can't believe Nikki Cummins is still running for school board. At least that's what it says on her page. She might have dropped out already, but hope to God she does. We don't need a thief on there, but that shouldn't reflect the whole school board. But this guy going in and party crashing, and this is about the 10th or 15th thing we've done in the last 2 months on school board members. Guys, be careful who you vote in. Speaking of voting, we have the elections coming up. Early voting is already
Yeah, it already
in.
started.
April
It started
Iser.
16th, yeah.
Do we have her picture? I'm sure we do in
We
the
do.
archives.
Use that quite
We got
The,
election.
the black lady you were speaking of was Sandra Gilliard.
Miss Gilliard.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of her name.
She
Mine
is
was
a
a
total.
blank.
I just saw the picture of the school board up there. Okay, April Iser. When you guys go in District 3, not that the guy that's in District 3 is a bad guy or anything. I don't know him, but when you don't return my calls for 3 years, I'm not going to endorse you. When you don't turn, and then forget about me. The biggest complaint I've heard out of him, I believe his name is Terry,
Yes.
which is also her cousin,
Terry Turner.
by the way,
Yes.
is he doesn't return calls. He doesn't return calls. He doesn't return calls. When you don't return calls, you can't find out what your constituents' complaints are. These are the people that voted for you. Anytime I've called April up, she calls me right back, and she has some great ideas.
Yes, she does.
I mean, and if she can get in and work with Larry Harvey, which I like, I'd endorse Larry. Call me Larry. I always do the call me Larry. We got the guy in Crescent City. Man, I cannot think tonight. He owns Napa. Anyways, I'll think of his name later. I can't believe it. I need to get some stuff from my brain. I need to eat. I haven't eaten all day. Anyways, you got election coming up. Make sure you know your candidates. I don't vote party. You people that vote party are dumbasses. Don't vote for somebody just because they're in your party. Get to know your candidates. Know what they stand for. Doesn't matter if you vote left or right. Democrat, Republican, Independent. But make sure you know your candidates and vote for that candidate. Okay, let's move on now. I don't want to get started on that election crap. Let's see.
Hey, speaking of schools, we got an interesting story.
The bag lady?
Yeah, the bagged lunch. I'll tell you what, I want to go to her lunch. I like her cafeteria idea.
I guess this is a progression shot of when she started and when she got busted. Seems the old gal's been robbing lunch money for years. Go ahead and put her up. Miss Joan and her sister, Marie Wilson. Oh, it's two different ones. God, they look a lot alike. Have each been charged with one count of first-degree larceny. Investigators say that in the Connecticut school, I'm not going to say exactly which one it was, where they worked, lost a combined amount of $478,588 in lunch money between 2012 and 2017. Guess where it wound up at?
Where's that? Where did it go?
In their pockets. You would think for damn near $500,000 they could have gotten some better dresses.
At least get some, get something. I mean, good grace. Could at least smiled.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious.
I mean, get some haircut too. $500,000 and you can't get your haircut, man. I'd be looking like $1 million if I had that. $500,000. First thing I'd do is go get. Yeah, one lady should get I don't know if she should get the gray washed out of her hair.
The one looks kind of sweet and innocent. The other one looks like she looks like she got aggravated with somebody. She could
have got the money off of that show or that infomercial, and I'm not going to say the name of it, but put the picture back up. The bags under the eyes. Have you guys seen that commercial?
That plexi stuff. Yeah.
Where they put the cream underneath the eyes, and then it like makes them disappear.
I wonder if it works on fat marks. I need to do that on my stomach.
She got a freaking mustache. Oh my God, lady, get a wax job. $500,000. Let me see what I can pick on her here about. If you're gonna steal money from kids and you get busted, I'm gonna make fun of you on this show. You guys can call in and say I'm making fun of her. Call me Trump. You suck. Trump supporters suck. You suck for making fun of people. Look, she stole $500,000 from freaking kids from the schools.
Yes.
Stole their damn lunch money. Woman, get your hair dyed for $500,000. The gal on the right, I'll start with her. Put that bag stuff on. Get some mascara. Why is her eye so pink on the top? Anyways, get that mustache waxed. It looks like she's been shaving. And I think she's got the starter goatee set. And buy a new dress. Good God, that thing's ugly. But get your hair done. The woman on the left, okay, the 1950s call. They want their glasses back.
You're a mess.
Huh?
I said you're a mess. But yeah, I'm with you. You don't steal
She's
from
got
kids,
a mustache.
I'll tell you what.
Chris, is that a mustache going on there?
It may just be an odd shadow.
I don't know. I think I see
I think
stubble.
it's a 5 o'clock shadow going on.
She got some lipstick on, but I don't know.
But you
doing
can't
her
say
a
that
whole lot
because
of
a
good.
lot of women get that. That's just a thing. It
Get a
happens.
freaking oil treatment on. She don't even have a real gold chain on. That thing looks like it's turning her neck green.
Well, you know, just because she made it doesn't mean. I mean, how are you gonna?
$500,000. Come on.
Yeah.
That's $250,000, close to $250,000
You didn't want to look
apiece.
like you won it, though. You didn't want to look like you stole the money. So I mean, really.
Yeah, well.
Hey, so we got to move on. There's another episode about a grandmother that got arrested the other day.
Hopefully they bought nice cars with it.
Did you see that story?
Which one?
The one where the older lady was out cutting the dandelions and she got arrested by the cops.
Oh yeah, the 90-year-old. They tased her.
Yeah, they tased her, and
Yeah,
then
let
they
me see
stood
if I
up
can
for
find it.
themselves.
Yeah, right here. The police chief's defendant. Now, okay, now I'm kind of on the fence about this one. Don't mess with Granny. Okay, this is a woman. She's she doesn't speak any English. Her name is Martha Al-Bashar. She's 87 years old, and she was out getting dandelions to put them in a salad. Well, the cops come because she was at, what was it? She was at a Boys and Girls Club. There's an organization there. And the Dalton News reported that anyways, the woman at the Boys and Girls Club called in and said there was a woman out there with a knife and she was cutting up plants and stuff. Well, this lady is she Ukrainian?
I think so. I do believe so.
Anyway, she was wielding a knife. The cops come out. She doesn't know how to speak any English. And so they tasered her right there on the ground. Then they cuffed her. She was only in jail for a couple hours, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm with you. I'm on the fence on that because the woman didn't understand English.
She was north of Atlanta, about 70 miles north of Atlanta.
They said that, she was carrying a weapon and...
Yeah, she didn't follow their commands. They asked her to drop the knife. And the police chief stated that they were in their rights to do it because stop is a universal word.
Yes.
I mean, no matter where you go, everybody knows what stop means. Well, Granny here apparently...
I guess you just have to be there to understand it, so...
Didn't drop the knife. They kept asking her to. Now the family's like flipping out because Granny got tasered. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I mean...
Weren't they upset about it because she got tasered by her heart or something like that, and it could have caused health problems? And I think that was their biggest beef. And
well, I got to play the devil's advocate on this with the cops. I'm not taking up for the cops.
Yeah, I'm not taking up for them. But I'm not saying that they did anything wrong. I mean, if you're going to tell somebody to stop and not come towards you, I mean, you have every right to defend yourself, and it means you feel.
Well, they had their guns unholstered too. I mean, they could have blown her away.
Yeah, I mean.
But they didn't do it. I mean, okay, she did take a few volts to the breast, which I'm sure this 87-year-old breasts are hurting after they did that. But I'm kind of on the fence about this. If I've got an elderly woman coming at me, she's 87. The grandson said, "Well, 3 cops couldn't take her down. They might want to rethink their job." But then again, I've seen some 87-year-old people. I mean, look at Granny Clampett.
Well, they had arrested her. Yeah, they arrested her for she was handcuffed and booked on suspicion of a misdemeanor criminal trespass and obstruction of an officer. Said she was held for 3 hours at the police station before being released. She said she's still feeling pretty shook up. Her body is still pretty tired. She has some symptoms, I think, of post-traumatic stress. She can't go outside and look at the spot where it happened. She's feeling really bad about the whole situation and really embarrassed, has been crying on and off. So they're trying to go out to the police department for causing her this mental anguish instead of trying to calm her down and de-escalate the situation. And again, it's all in the eyes. You had to be there, I guess, to understand this.
I don't know. It depends. They didn't show the knife. It depends on how big the knife was too. If it's the size of a.
But she was around children, so I mean, I would.
There was no kids out in the yard at that time.
Okay, so but again,
so there was. I don't even think there was any kids on the property. From what they said, or they were all inside, but no kids were outside. She was just cutting dandelions.
No, it was a staff member that was calling 911 on her for trespassing. So,
but I don't care if you're 150. If you're coming at me with a knife and I'm saying stop and you don't stop.
Well, they said she's so old she can't get around too well, but looks like she's doing good. So.
But still, she's got a knife. I mean, I would.
And she had a bag too. So they're like the knife, the bag. I mean, I'm no offense, but she didn't look like somebody I would be concerned with. But you know what? We're training kids to kill. So
you don't know when you're there though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I guess it's one of those things where you'd have to be the officer and be there. And
I guess I'm just saying that they didn't shoot her, so let's leave it be. And
yeah, she's still alive. She says she can't come outside because she has post-traumatic stress syndrome now. She just got
really shook up and embarrassed, and I can't blame her, but the family's drawing it way out of proportion. I mean, it's just a big misunderstanding. In today's world, unfortunately, we have to protect ourselves and we have to protect everybody around.
Why would you? I mean, you've got an 87-year-old woman out there. I know a lot of competent elderly people, but she's 87 years old. I don't think she should be letting Granny walk alone by herself at 87, walking down the street.
Speaking of protecting yourself in today's world, you've got a story that happened, was it today?
The Julington Creek man with a sexual battery on a minor at a pool?
This rapist.
Yeah,
There's no other word than rapist.
Sick little bastard.
He was supposed to be taking that child to school.
Yeah. It didn't say how old she was, but...
No, but he was 18.
It was a St. Johns County man with a Julington Creek address. He's been jailed without bond after he was accused of sexual assault on a juvenile girl at a pool. Apparently, the girl called up this Tyler Tillman and told him to come to meet him at the pool and stuff. And so he went there, and she told him to bring some alcohol and stuff. So he shows up with the liquor and stuff. And then they get to drinking, and then they start having sex in their pool. She says she doesn't want to have it anymore. So all of a sudden, he pins her down on the side of the pool and starts, I guess, well, he's raping her. There's no guess about it because they have it all on video footage.
Yeah, it was a public
The sheriff's
pool.
department. It was a public pool. And they have the incident was caught on video. So
She went to Flagler Hospital, and they ran some tests which did prove the bruising and, that she had been penetrated, basically. And, yeah, so it showed
she
that.
had numerous bruises on various parts of the body. The victim was under the age of 18. The victim told deputies that she had contacted Tillman on a social media application and asked him to bring her alcohol, which he did. They both drank vodka, the report said, and they decided to go swimming in the community pool while they were making out, kissing and stuff.
He got
Tillman
aggressive.
he got aggressive, which alcohol will do that to you. The arrest report said that the encounter escalated and Tillman reportedly struck her in the head while the two were having sex. He starts beating her in the face, I guess. The report said that Tillman threw the victim onto the pool deck and had violent sexual intercourse with her. There was a lady that called 911 that could hear the young lady yelling in pain, and in the recording you could actually hear it. We're not going to put that 911 recording up. I don't want to do that.
Please.
It said there's a guy beating the blankety blank out of the girl. The 911 caller was awakened by the two yelling. And Tillman was arrested the day after the incident and charged with battery and possession of alcohol and sexual battery.
Know where your kids are. Know what your kids are doing. Social media is a crazy thing. You know.
He's 18 years old.
Yeah.
At that point, mental illness, being a drunk. If you're 18 years old, you don't need to be out drinking. It is illegal for one.
As a parent, Travis, you got to make sure you know where your kids are. All this Snapchat and all these little codes, and it's too easy for them to get together and not know what's going on. You guys got to know where your children are.
Yeah,
and what
but you
they're
can't blame the parents for something.
No, but I'm
18-year-old
saying social
does.
media. We need to be more aware of what's going on. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be aware, because that was a social media thing where she invited him over.
Yeah, and I guarantee I know which.
I know when your
social media
children
site it
walked
was
out,
on.
I don't care if even, as old as they are, 19 and, 18, you say, hey, where are you going? What are you doing? You always call your kids and check on them because you want to make sure they're safe. So they get aggravated, but they know you're safe. So.
I need you to find my police back on there.
Oh, huh.
Let's see. Scroll down. We have to do a couple commercials.
Here you go.
Before we do that, I want to do the quench the
Yes,
thirst
quench
thing.
the thirst, please.
No, you know what? Hold the quench the thirst, because I've got a. We'll do that one last, because I've got something that goes with that about our volunteer firefighters. Let's put Bob up. Hot Pocket Bob. East Side Towing and Collision.
You better call Travis.
Yeah. Bob, you need to call me. Call me. Bob does towing, custom work, collision work, and mechanical work. He's trying to, I guess he's going to phase out the mechanical end of it. Unless it has to do with the collision side of it. But he's on Highway 17 at 286. He's just past the fairground if you're coming from Crescent City on the right-hand side. He has free estimates, so you can call Bob. His number is easy to remember. How in the hell does he get a number like that? It's 386-227-0003. You guys are looking for somebody that does work like they do on TV on these car shows and stuff. That's the guy to go to. That, can you swell up that little red car, that MG? That little MG, I went down there and saw it, and it was the ugliest green you'd ever see in your life.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Oof.
That doesn't do justice.
I'll have to get some pictures next week so you can actually see the before and after that car.
Yeah, I like the one on the right. That Mustang, that thing turned out sweet. That's not even finished yet. The grill's not in it. The chrome's not on it.
Yeah, we'll have to show that.
Monte Carlo up on the top right hand side, but he does that gas tank too. Look at the work they did on the tank and stuff there. That thing turned out sharp.
Yeah, it did.
Anyways, if you need a good paint job, call up Bob. If you take a Hot Pocket in there, he will probably give you a discount.
Okay, who do we got next? Moving on, who do we got next?
That's an inside joke with me and Bob. Benio does wells. He's not digging any wells in Putnam County right now, but he will do pump repairs, well restoration, pump replacement, and well abandonment. He is by appointment only. So if you call him up, he's a busy man. But he's one of the few companies that I recommend for well drilling.
Yeah, he's got 24-hour emergency service, and they have up-to-date with quality service designed to get you the most out of your well.
Yeah, 386-334-1593. Call him up and make sure that you're in the area he services. If not, I think we have another well drilling company that might be advertising with us here in the future.
Okay, who do we got next?
Let's see.
Hair by Barbie.
Yeah, Hair by Barbie. You ladies need to get your hair striped or highlighted. Look how shiny that girl's hair is on the right-hand side. I've actually seen her do that to people. I'm not sure how she does it.
It's called Brazilian blowout.
No, not the Brazilian blowout. I know what the Brazilian blowout is. I've seen her take that one lady's hair, and she was doing some hot oil something or another to it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if she sticks her head in a pot and boils it up or not. I'd say throw a couple of carrots in there and have dinner. But no, she does some neat stuff with hair. And the hair comes out shiny as all get out. And then she puts the highlights and all that stuff in it. And she does men's hair as well. Guys, if you want to get your beard trimmed or your hair done, make sure you go in and see her. And her rates are really good, too.
Yeah, she's by appointment only, so.
Yeah, and if you need to see her, she is in over on St. John's Avenue at 916. What's that pizza place that's across the street from her?
Pizza Boys.
Pizza Boys. She's across from Pizza Boys. Or you can catch her in...
At Salon Lofts and CBL Drive in St. Augustine.
Yeah, she's in St. Augustine, but her number is 904-501-9542.
Yes.
And she is by appointment only.
If you go to salonlofts.com, look her up. We got Barbie. She's the only Barbie in there, so.
Okay. I think we have one more, don't we?
That was Palaka Cinema, which
We've already got them. We're all good.
So we can do.
So what do we got?
First.
You know who I do want to give a shout out to? To McPhoebe, the pain specialist guy that I met the other day. The pain specialist up in St. Augustine.
I'm not. My mind's
The one I
driving.
called today. Okay. Anyways, I'll give them a shout out. But the doctor's name is McPhoebe, I believe.
Oh, you're talking about the doctor's office, not. I thought you said paint. Paint.
How the hell you get pain out of
Because of the way
pain
you said
specialist?
pain. No, the pain specialist, Dr. McGreevy.
McGreevy. What did I say?
Yes,
McPhoebe?
Yeah.
Oh, McPhoebe was the one.
I thought you said paint with a
Andy
T. I
Griffith.
was so confused. So, no, Dr. McGreevy, he is amazing. I'll tell you what.
I'm hoping to get him on the show. He has alternatives for pain specialists.
And he is on the top of it. He doesn't just look at you. He sits down, takes your medical history, takes the time with you. He gets the test done. I mean, he gets exactly what you need right then. So he actually just did a seminar last night, and I wished I would have been able to go to it about pain specialism and trying to help people. So
I want to get him on the show because there's a lot of opioid crap going on right now, and he does pinpoint injections. Mm-hmm. He helps people out that are looking to get off of opioids. His wife's name is
Ariane.
She's a sweetheart. They make a good couple.
Yeah, they
They're
do.
a cute couple. He's a younger.
Well, they got the best staff.
They got the best technology I've ever seen in there.
Oh my gosh, everything in there is up to date. It's like top of the line technology. Like,
if you guys are looking to get off of opioids and are looking for another way to do it, they got this pinpoint injections, all this stuff. Quench the thirst. The reason I want to do Quench the Thirst now is because of the next story coming up after this. Quench the Thirst is something we do every year. Tammy and I have been doing that stuff for, this is 3-4 years now? 3 years?
3 years.
Anyways, Quench the Thirst is a deal that we started. Tammy came up with the name of it a few years ago. Quench the Thirst is to help, and you can do it all over the United States. Not just here in Putnam County, but here in Putnam County we have Save a Lot in Crescent City with Mary over there, and we have Hitchcock's in East Palatka and also in Interlaken. If you go in there, you can buy a case of water, and then we will make sure that it gets to the firefighters. But you can buy a case and it will be donated to them. But get them snacks and stuff too, because when these guys are out in fires and stuff, especially right now with all this stinking lightning we have, you would think that the ground would be saturated. But here in Florida, you know, the old saying, if you don't like our weather, stick around 15 minutes, it'll change.
That's true.
They need Slim Jims, crackers, Powerade, anything that you think that can fit in their pocket and won't melt is good. But they definitely need water.
Yeah, the water's like, you know, you can buy a case of water for the price of two 20 ounces. So
yeah, a couple, $2 or $3 you can get a case of water for them, and they need it. These guys, these men and women get paid $4 a call. That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
But they do it not for the money, obviously. They do it because they love helping the community. They love making a difference. Oh, and I want to thank Scott over there at Walmart in Palaca. He had donated Fire Station 6. We'll have pictures to put up next week of it. He donated boots for the fire department over there.
Yes.
And they went in, Sam went in and picked up the rest of them the other day because they didn't have the right sizes of them.
No.
He had to order them in. But this next story is one that will crack you up. Osh Cletus was in here to do this story. Firemen go out to this house.
Oh, I love this story. Oh, my gosh.
To a house fire. And this parrot is up on the roof, and he's trying to he's trying to rescue this parrot. He's got his dish, you know, and put the picture up there, Chris.
Oh, my gosh. I love this story.
This
I can't stop
firefighter, now you
laughing.
can't make this kind of stuff
No,
up.
you can't.
This firefighter, this bird is up on the roof, and the guy's trying to be as gentle as he can with this parrot, and he goes, "I love you," and the bird goes, "F off."
He didn't say it F either.
Yeah, he said it plain as
He
day.
was
I have the
cursing
video,
that man out. He was not going to let him touch him.
but I know my niece and a few other kids listen to the show, so I've kind of got to.
I could just see being a fireman on the roof trying to help this poor little bird from getting burnt. And he's going off. And I'm like, really, dude?
I love you.
I love you.
F off. F off. Rah. Piss off. He was cussing the firefighter out. Was just
He's
F
even got a
off.
bowl of food for the poor little thing. And he's...
Yeah, the parrot was. I wonder if the parrot's the one who set the fire.
I don't know. He looked like he had some issues. I think he needs some counseling.
Buddy, you look like a big bumblebee there. F off. I'm not getting stung.
He could always fly away. I mean, we didn't have to climb on the roof for him. So.
With that beak on there, he probably looked like a freaking pterodactyl coming after him.
Look at the way he's looking at that guy. That guy's being so nice. And he's like, he's giving him like, dude, you get any closer? And you're going to be effed up.
You know what's crazy is with all the crap going on the national news and stuff, why in the hell they don't ever show any of this stuff is beyond me. I mean, they could support the firefighters instead of talking about Trump and everything else, you know, and bashing him. And
You gotta have, you know, there's so much bad stuff and sad stuff in the world. We need something to make us laugh.
Fidel
I mean,
Omarosa
that
and
was
Nancy
the
Pelosi
best.
and Dianne Feinstein and
That stuff just raises my blood pressure. You know, this stuff's good for the blood pressure. So,
that's funny as hell.
sorry, I can't stop laughing when I saw that story about I fell over.
F off.
It's just the best.
Yeah. Oh. I lost my.
Oh, SpaghettiOs.
I'll try to get my news feeds back up here.
So,
Okay.
oh yeah, this one. You got to do that one.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. We got a picture of this one too. Call this one Free Willy. Okay. Now you guys think you heard everything? This was off of the Huffington Post
This is in Paris, I believe.
today. In Paris, eco-friendly but completely exposed urinals deployed on the streets of Paris are provoking an uproar with locals. Now I wonder why.
Free Willy.
You know, I gotta pee. There's a urinal. It looks like a trash can. What do you guys
That's
think?
just wrong.
But
Does that
Where-
look like a trash
Yeah,
can?
I'm like, where's that going? Is that
Well,
going
you
in the
are-
river or where's that going? And he's like leaning backwards. Look at the angle of his feet. So it's like he's peeing up a hill too.
Look, it's
Hope the
showing.
wind doesn't come along.
There's a sign. Can you go in on
It's
on
called
the sign?
Urator. I can't even pronounce it. Uratrauditor or something. Yeah, I can't
Chris,
pronounce
you
the
do a
word.
good job at this stuff.
Yeah.
Yoratrato?
Say that again.
Yoratrato?
Okay.
You're a trotol. It looks like
You're in trouble. You could have look at how the guy's leaning in the picture. You got to like lean back to do it. Like really, I told you he's in a leaning position. He's like,
Yeah.
you got to lean back and aim. I
Can
don't
you
want to be
imagine-
seeing that.
Can you imagine being in a gondola underneath that thing going by? Look at the oh, what is that? The Free Willy. Because it shows the pee going right into the canal there.
The guy looks like he's just leaning back and having a good time. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, I thought I saw it all until I saw that one. I'm like, that's as bad as the bird.
Well, have you seen the public? There's public bathrooms in several places.
Yeah.
That are just enclosed one-way mirrors.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So
But
you
this
can
is just
see-
a whole new outlook on it. I mean, pee in a trash can. I just want to know who
What's
wants
the-
to clean that out. That's nasty.
What's the sign on the side of that thing?
It's just a piece of paper that's been ripped off. It's like a poster.
Oh yeah, probably said Free Willy
Yeah.
on it. I don't want to zoom in so I can see his tallywhacker.
Yeah, but he's like, look,
Wait, is
no
there a
offense, but
plant
he's
growing?
not.
What the hell's on the top of that thing?
It's like, I don't know, are we like recycling?
Oh, good God.
Bohica?
Probably got a spittoon in there.
That's just nasty. I'm sorry.
That gives a whole new meaning to wee, monsieur.
Oh my
Wee
goodness.
me, manure.
Oh
Okay,
my
take
gosh.
that down.
Hey,
I'm tired
speaking of funny stories,
tired of
hey,
looking at
what
Willie.
about the guy that robbed that van the other day and actually brought it back? I thought that was kind of nice of him to bring that back.
Yeah, do we have it?
Yeah, we got that one. So,
Oh, yeah.
no, not that
No,
one.
no,
the other
this
one.
is the kid. Well, we can go ahead and talk about her. Keep it up there.
Yeah, this one, she deserves the credit.
She's a little sweetheart. This little girl is only 5, 6 years old.
I think she was 4. The mom had got her a Barbie for her birthday, I believe it was. And she told her, she let her track the package. Well, while she was tracking the package, mom had that Amazon, auto pay thing going on. And the little girl, instead of tracking the package, was ordering items. So she spent
ordered,
like $300 and stuff.
Yeah, $300 or $400.
No, it was like $300, and she bought a bunch of toys to donate to other kids. So I mean, it was
She
a good
donated
cause.
them to a children's hospital.
Yeah, but it was really cool because the mom's like, the packages kept coming and coming and coming, and kind of find out. She's like, I didn't order these. Oh yes, you did. Look how proud that little girl is. She was helping somebody.
Yeah, she ordered $400. My kids are like that too. They've seen my phone with Amazon Prime on there.
Yep.
My son and daughter both. I'm going, why in the hell? What did I order for $200 off of Amazon? I need to return it. Yeah, this guy right here.
He was kind enough to bring the van back. You can't say
Okay.
I blame him though.
This guy goes to a funeral home, steals a van, discovers that there's a body in it. Maybe I don't think he knew it was at a funeral home. Discovers that there's a body in the back, and then returns the van. Imagine driving down the road, and all of a sudden you look back there, and there's a body just laying back there.
Like I think I'd have nightmares.
Huh?
I think I'd have nightmares. Like turn around, there's like this body behind me. I feel like I'd being watched.
What about when rigor mortis sets in, and all of a sudden an arm flies up?
What if he stopped and like the thing sat up or something?
He looks like he's still stunned.
Yeah, I think he looks like he's still
What
like in
the
shock.
hell? I was just going down the street. I want to go visit my buddies.
I can't blame the guy, man.
They
He
all
looks
piled
freaky.
in the back. What the shit is this? Oops, that one slipped out. What it is?
I bet it knocked him dead.
Hey, Chihuahua,
I bet
yeah.
it knocked him dead.
Yeah, it knocked
he
him
looks
dead.
like he got knocked out. He probably passed out on that one. So.
Yeah, you imagine stealing a van and all of a sudden there's a body in the back. You look, your friends go to hop in the back and they're like, "What the hell is wrong with you, man?"
Hey, speaking of
I'm
vehicles,
sure the dead guy didn't mind it.
there was a hit and run over in Putnam County the other day, just a couple days ago, and they're actually looking to see if anybody has any information on it. So
Yeah, that one's yeah, it was a hit and run.
it said troopers with the Florida Highway Patrol are searching for the driver who hit a woman and then took off in Putnam County. The woman, 40, is from Interlochen, has not been identified yet. The crash took place on SR 20 west of Whippletree Road just after midnight on Wednesday. If you know anything, please just, any little tip might help. But the investigators say the woman was walking on the shoulder of the road when she was hit by a Dodge Ram. The driver then took off and abandoned the truck at the scene, reported by the Florida Highway Patrol. If you have any information, all you got to do is hit star FHP on your phone. That is the Florida Highway Patrol number, star FHP.
I think Tammy was telling me that was like the third or fourth one that was hit in the last month or so. What time are we running into? 6 minutes. Okay, I don't think. Is that it?
No, we've got some stories from the other day that we didn't get out there. Oh,
Well-
yeah, you wanted to do that one, didn't you, right there in your fingers?
No, I'm not going to have enough time for that. That's what's pissing me
Okay,
off.
scroll back
well,
up.
you know what? Put it up real quick. You know, today Trump, he took away security clearance from O'Brien, and now he's looking at taking it away from a few other people. I don't know. You guys write in and tell me what you think about this. I mean, now he's wanting to do Comey and Clapper, Yates, McCabe, Susan Rice, Hayden, Strzok, Page, and Orr. They, you know, if you're not working for the government anymore, it's my belief, you know, I know that they call back in people to get them back for, you know, to ask their opinion on different things. But if you don't work for the government anymore, I don't think you should have national security clearance.
No, I mean...
There's over 1 million people with security clearance. And Clapper, he's a freaking idiot. I'll get into that, you know, probably Tuesday night when I've got Greg Williams in here. That's when we do the political stuff. You guys want to come in here on
we'll
Tuesday
talk about
night?
it more on Tuesday night.
And
but
listen, we'll educate you real quick on what's going on with Orr and how Orr, he was a member of, you know, he worked with the DOJ and Condoleezza Rice, and you know, Condoleezza Rice sold out a bunch of our operatives and stuff by announcing their names.
Make sure you do a
There's
shout out
actually
to...
60 former CIA officers that she had announced that put their lives in danger and stuff. And you got Comey and Clapper and Strzok and Page and Brennan and Yates and all this stuff. And these guys are all working for other news organizations. They all denounce Trump. You know, if you're going to be in government, don't have an opinion. It's my personal opinion. And along with all the other ones. I got the lady from the Miami newspaper yesterday on there saying that all Trump supporters are basically idiots. Woman, you're an idiot. I know plenty of people that voted for Trump that aren't idiots. You people on the left that keep saying that, you know, and you people that want to take away guns and everything, think about this. What happens if this country splits and these guys keep splitting the nation? And if it ever comes down to a civil war, the only people that are going to have guns are the ones you don't want to mess with, because you'll be taking away, you're giving away up your guns, or you don't have guns. Or if people come in from out of the country and start to attack you.
Remember that story about the young lady that's going to be coming in Palestine, that all they have is rocks to protect themselves. Look at the shoes of
Yeah,
all
I
those...
want you guys to hear
Yeah.
her story when she comes in. We're going to blur out her face and change her voice around.
Look at all those shoes of those Jews that gave up their rights.
We're running out of time.
We can't do that.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. I want to thank you guys for listening tonight, letting us come into your hearts, your homes, and messing up your mind.
So,
You know, we only do this stuff. A lot of it's in fun. A lot of it's to educate you. But I want to thank you for at least listening to us and my rants and raves and stuff. You know, we love you guys. If you're out there on your government cell phones and you're homeless, be safe. You know, we're trying to do everything we can to help you out. To our veterans and our first responders, our sheriff's departments, our police departments, we thank you so much for the time and effort you put in. And we will have Joe Wells. I talked to Joe the other day. He is coming back into the studio again.
I enjoyed
Oh, yeah,
Joe.
this time I'm going to get him to come in without his uniform on.
I enjoyed
T-shirt,
Joe. He's very, very nice.
Flip-flops, shorts. We're going to cut loose and get crazy with him. I love Joe.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. If you guys want to check out my book, you can get it on Amazon. I'm going to be putting up a thing coming up this week. I'm going to give away 10 copies. Remember, don't kneel. Stand up for your country.
Yes.
Support and remember the fallen. Oh, yes. Calvin O, by the way, you guys support our artists and stuff on ITW Radio. You can check us out on Facebook. You can go to the Putman Way. You can go to ITW Radio on Facebook. We do contests.
We're going
Make
to
sure you
start
hit the subscribe button on
1st.
YouTube.
Start watching on the 1st. There's going to be a giveaway every day on the 1st for the next month. There's going to be a giveaway every day. You guys need to be watching.
I got 20 seconds.
30
Make sure you hit the make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. And that's about it, guys.
Oh.
Remember, kneel for your country, or pray for your country.
Yes.
Stand up for your country. Don't kneel. One day you might have to kneel good forever. Anyways, tonight we're going to close out with, who we got? Tyler Riffley?
Yep.
Which one?
Never Let Go.
Never Let Go.
This is one heck of a football song.
This is a football song. I hope you people at the high schools will play this song. Give me a call and I will send you a copy to play. It's a great song. It's about his brother. And you guys, I'll tell you what, have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday night at 7:30. Tuesday
time,
night
same
we'll have
place.
Greg in the thing.
So, good night, y'all.
Good night.
Thanks for watching.
Sunset lights come on, bleachers packed, worries gone. It's the real deal, that feeling inside when you walk out on that field. You got the heart of a champion. Don't you know you can do anything? We're all here, we won't let you fall. Get ready, set, go.
In case you forgot, hi Rosie. Shout out to Rosie Lester. Mama B.
Reaching out for a football in the air. It's like a world war. Touchdown like an airplane. Yeah, that's the goal. Don't stop running and never let.
Also, we got a shout out for Embry Alexander.